Hey everybody, it's Stitch 1993, back again with my wife Shelby.
Hi, everybody.
And we're going to talk about more movies that we own. If this is your first time listening to us, we just kind of go over the over 1,200 movies that we own physically on DVD and Blu-ray. Eventually we will get to the ones that we own on VHS, but that will be later down the line. Currently we're talking about our Disney movies, and since there's a lot of them, genres that we've talked about previously is action adventure, animation, comedy, and Criterion Collection, as well as the holiday films, Christmas mainly, and Halloween/horror films. So if you like hearing us and you want to hear more and you can't wait until the the end of next month, then just check those out. We post these videos once a month at the end of every month. We're on part 4, I believe, of the Disney, and we're almost done. I think we have one more.
There'll be one more, yes.
One more episode after this. And at the end of that episode, we'll, with the next. Well, I think we've already said it already. It's drama. But now we're in the midst of the letter P, and we just kind of go over give our thoughts on each movie. And the first one we're going to do is technically a collection of movies called Pixar's Short Films Collection, Volume 1. Now, we only have Volume 1. We haven't gotten around to finding Volume 2. And honestly, I just really wanted Volume 1 because it has most of my favorite shorts on there. So there's 13 in all, and I've watched most of these. I don't know how many you've watched, but we'll go over them and give our thoughts whether. So the first one is The Adventures of Andre and Wally B. This was the first short film that Pixar ever did, and it really kind of put them on the map. It is this little blue guy, and he gets chased by a bee. It's really short. It's like probably not even like a minute or two long. And nobody's talking, although they do have Andre, whenever he like laughs, it kind of sounds like Donald Duck. This was the first. I did mention this back in my history of computer generated images video that I put out last year. This was the first animation, really anything CGI, that did squash and stretch animation, which up until that point was really only something you saw in 2D animation. Now squash and stretch is the term used for, it's mainly like for like your Looney Tunes type of stuff, where it's like the character gets smushed down or stretched out beyond a reasonable limit without breaking. It's just kind of rubber band kind of look to it. I don't know if you've seen this one.
I have. For me, it's more interesting to watch it in comparison to their newer shorts,
Right.
just to see where they started. And that's the fun in it for me, is just seeing how far they've come.
So the next one is their main one that everybody pretty much knows, and if you haven't seen it, you still have seen the main character, because it is the Luxor lamp. I've been saying Luxo for the longest time, but apparently just recently I found out it's pronounced Luxo. I don't know. I still like saying it Luxo. That's just how it feels right in my mouth. You can call it whatever. I don't care. So this is Luxo Jr. It's the two desk lamps playing with the ball. If you've never seen that, you owe it to yourself to watch it, because it is their history. It is the first one. They didn't win, but I believe they did get nominated for Best Animated Short at the Oscars that year for this, but they didn't win. We'll get to the one after it that they did win for. This would be, of course, their icon for their logo. The lamp that jumps on the eye in the Pixar logo. This is where he comes from, if you did not know that already. They only include, I believe, the original Luxor Jr. Short, but they did make more Luxo Jr. shorts for Sesame Street, of all things, because I do remember watching those on Sesame Street growing up. I I haven't watched this in a while, so I don't remember if that's included. It's great if they are. If not, you can check those out on YouTube. Um, your thoughts on it?
This one's really cute. This was the first one of theirs that I like really recognize growing up. Like you know the little lamp, you know the Pixar ball. They're really iconic pieces.
Okay. Next is Red's Dream. I've got some beef with this one. So first, just kind of explaining what it is. It's about a red unicycle that has a dream that he is in a circus. It's got a really badly animated. They were good with animating non-anthropomorphic items like unicycles, lamps, stuff like that. But they were still trying to figure out how to make a human look like a human. So they have like a clown halfway through it, and he looks really ugly. My beef with this is because the unicycle was red and it is it was like its own little person. Pixar, or I don't know if it was Pixar in general or Steve Jobs, was really proud of this. So when Uniracers came out for the SNES, they tried to sue that game company for infringing on their idea of a unicycle that had a mind of its own, because in that game it's a little side-scrolling racing game where you just race as a unicycle. There's nobody on the unicycle. It's just the unicycle, and it's different colors, but the main color one is red. So yeah, I don't, I believe I don't remember what happened with that, because I believe they had it's not a rare game. You can still get this game for maybe $15-20. So I don't know what the history is afterwards. I do believe it's actually shown up on some eShop Nintendo channels back in the day. So yeah, I don't know who won that, but yeah, it's always a weird history with that one. Don't know if you've seen this one.
I haven't. I will say that whole history is really petty.
Right?
Just come on. You don't own red unicycles. You don't own a color. You don't own a unicycle.
Exactly. This next one is the other main one that they're very well known for, and is the jumping off point to the beginning history of Toy Story. It's Tin Toy. And it's about a little toy come to life. And he's trying to get away from a baby. Again, this is back when they could not they were getting close to it, but it was really ugly. The baby's really ugly. In this, they did try to scan a baby doll, and so the baby renders, it's kind of based off of a baby doll's facial shape. It's still a little weird though. But the animation itself is cute and very interesting. I noticed only when I was watching another movie called Where the Toys Come From, which I did do a review of. Some of the toys that Tin Toy sees underneath the couch are real toys. They are real little wind-up toys that you can, at that time, buy in a store. Yeah, so that came out. I believe that's the one they won Best Animated Short for the Oscars that year. Disney, of course, saw the short and was like, hey, can you do a film? At first, they're like, yeah, we can do a little 30-minute Christmas special or something like that, because that's what we wanted to do next. And Disney's like, no, we want you to do a theatrical film. Here's the money. Do it. And so, yeah, if we didn't get Tin Toy, we probably wouldn't have gotten Toy Story. And of course, Tinny, as they eventually called him, the little marching guy, does eventually make a cameo in Toy Story 4, and that is when we finally got a physical toy of him as well. So it's my favorite. Yeah. And your thoughts, because I know you've seen this one.
It's cute. It's not my favorite by any means. Again, the baby's pretty ugly. I'm just not a huge fan of it. It's okay.
Right. The next one is another one of my favorites. It's neck and neck, because they go with the same theme of little toys coming to life. However, this one has a bit of a twist because they're all, I guess you'd consider them knickknacks, tchotchkes, snow globes. It's knickknack. It's about a little snowman that gets infatuated with another little knickknack. He's a snowman in a snow globe. He gets infatuated with a little, mermaid, little, I don't know, she's supposed to be like just one of those things you'd like see on a desk or buy when you're like on vacation there. And the rest of it is just like a Looney Tunes type of style thing of him doing one thing after the other of trying to get out of a snow globe. I love it. They did eventually make a toy of Knick Knack as well. It's a pop vinyl, but it's very, I don't think they changed much the facial features for that guy. So it's like the full snow globe and everything. It's great. I believe there's even like the little exit door on the bottom of the toy. I'll have to look back up, and if I can find pictures of it, I'll post them here. But yeah, little interesting thing about this short though. When the original short aired, the mermaid just had starfish on her breasts, and they were pretty big. So when they decided to release it as a short in front of the movie Finding Nemo, they kind of went back in and did some editing to where she then had a clam bra, and they reduced her breast size. So yeah, I don't remember in this collection which one it shows, but if you have like an old version of I think there's like a little CGI collection that's just Pixar shorts that released back in the 90s. If you have that, it probably has that version. Any of the newer versions is most likely going to be the edited version. What are your thoughts?
This one's cute. It's not one of my favorites. I didn't really start getting into their shorts until right around Toy Story 2. The snowman's really cute. I can understand why they went back and did the editing, though.
Yeah.
I can really understand why they went back and did the editing.
So next is Gary's Game. This short, I believe they made this kind of for a while. They were just kind of making shorts on their own, and like as the movies were coming out, their theatrical movies, they would just kind of pick one and plop it in front of her. So this one, I believe, was the short that they plopped in front of Bug's Life. It's about an old man that plays chess with himself. If you recognize the old man, he is the toy fixer in Toy Story 2, and it's like one of the best damn scenes in the whole movie because just him, just the music, and just doing all the little intricacies of fixing up Woody. I'm just like, yeah, this is my ASMR right here. But the short's really cute as well. They got this. They finally were. This, of course, when they finally pretty much figured out how to make a human not look creepy, or and really ugly. So it's really cute. Gary's cool. Did you ever see this one?
I did, so I stand corrected. It's not the one in front of Toy Story 2. It's that one. The Toy Story 2 connection is because he's the old man in Toy Story 2. I love this one. I think I watched the short more than I ever watched Bug's Life. I really enjoyed it. Again, like, even just that short, like, scratches a good part of your brain. Like, it's just so satisfying to watch. It's a lot of, it's not like fun, but it's like, it's satisfying.
So the next one, this will be their last of the shorts they would make prior to the films. And this one got plopped in front of Monsters, Inc. It's For the Birds. It's fine. It's just about a bunch of birds on a electricity or power line or phone line. And then there's one giant bluebird that sits down in the middle. Bluebird gets off, flings everybody else in the air, and they all land in their little butt naked. That's it. It's okay. It's all right. Have you seen this one?
I have. I love it. It's so cute.
I like more like the fan art that people have done with this, where they like use like other franchises as all the birds online. So like my favorite one, I think, is like the Pokemon one, where it's like all the Pokemon birds, and I think they have like Articuno or Zapdos or Moltres or one of the mythical birds in the middle there, or the legendary birds in the middle there, and they've done that with a couple other franchises too. Mike's new car is okay. It's just Mike getting his new car, and test driving it, and hijinks ensue. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that one. Did you? See
I've
that
never
one?
seen it.
Yes, yeah. Boundin is cute. That's the one about the jackalope and the sheep, and it kind of gives a little bit of Dr. Seuss vibe just because it's rhyming and stuff. This was in front of Cars, and this is like the first one. Well, no, For the Birds is the first one I remember seeing in theaters, but Boundin was the first one I was like catching on that. Okay, every Pixar movie is going to have a short in front of it. Did you see Boundin?
No, because I didn't see Cars in theaters, and also by the time I did see it, we skipped just straight to the movie.
Okay. So this next one didn't ever show up in theatrical run, as far as I'm aware. This was included in the Incredibles DVD release. It's Jack Jack Attack. It is the story of why the babysitter is calling Miss Parr and saying, you hear like the Jack Jack, you said, going crazy and stuff. This is literally what is happening. It's the babysitter babysitting Jack Jack, and Jack Jack finding out about his powers. They, of course, would expand on this in Incredibles 2 with giving him that whole short with him and the raccoon. It's kind of the same. If you like that short, if you like that scene in Incredibles 2 and you haven't seen the short, check out the short because it's the same Looney Tunes style energy. I know you really like this one because
It's
you
my
really like Jack
favorite.
Jack.
It's my favorite. I love it so much. Also, I die hard love Jack Jack. He is my favorite Incredibles character. I don't care what anybody else says. He's amazing. He's a sweet little baby. I love him so much.
One man band. I don't remember which movie. I believe this would have been in front of Ratatouille. And it is about two one-man bands, which, if you don't know what that is, it's like the guy that would have like the drum on his back, cymbals on his legs, usually holding like an accordion. Think Dick Van Dyke's character from Mary Poppins, that kind of thing. But it's two different ones. One's like that, and then one's more of like a violin style one. Kind of competing over this one girl's coin in this little small town. Really cute, really like the music. This is one that doesn't have, of course, any voice acting in it. Did you see this one?
I've never seen this one.
That's cute. Mater and the Ghost Slide is okay. I'm not a big fan of Mater, so when they do like a whole short with him, I think this was included in the Cars DVD release, or like soon after that. But yeah.
Never saw that one either.
Okay. And last one is Lifted. This one was in front of WALL-E, I want to say. And it is about, about the aliens abducting people. Well, they have to go to driving school or abduction school. And this is this little green alien's first time abducting this poor farm man. And it's just, there's so many little switches, and he's being tested by this kind, the person that would sit next to you in the passenger seat while you're driving for the first time, trying to get your driver's license, and like just judging him the whole time. And yeah, the poor little alien. Did you ever?
I have. It's like a cute little look into just like the anxiety everyone feels when they're going to get their license.
Right.
It's a cute way to illustrate that without it literally being a person going to get their driver's license.
And so that's all the ones included in that collection. And again, I believe there's like 3 volumes by now. But the first one is the one I really wanted because it had all the pre-Toy Story, pre-Pixar basically, shorts to it. So now on to the films themselves. First up is Pocahontas and Pocahontas 2. This is like a double feature pack. I like the music for Pocahontas. That's about. Oh, and the animals. I like Nico and whatever the hummingbird's name is. That's it. Yeah. This one didn't really age well. and at the same time doesn't go into how dark of a story that because Pocahontas and John Smith are real people. Doesn't really go into stuff that actually happened. To be fair, this is Disney, so of course they wouldn't really touch on that. But I digress. Your thoughts?
It has not aged well at all. Neither one of them really have aged all that well. The music is great. The voice acting is good. I will give it everyone's giving it their all because it's a Disney movie.
Right.
Do I feel weird saying that I watched this a lot growing up, knowing what I know now, and also knowing about Mel Gibson? Yes. Am I gonna show it to my niece? No.
Why do we own it?
Because it came with the second one, and I do remember watching the second one fondly.
Yeah, and I do actually enjoy the second one more. It's just it kind of adds a bit more to the history there, even though it's not exactly how everything went down. But it's just of all the Disney animated films to get a sequel, it was kind of interesting that Pocahontas was one of the ones that got selected. And also going back to Pocahontas, just a really fun little trivia tidbit. So they were making Pocahontas and Lion King at the same time, and Lion King was like the second tier movie. So it was like I guess the animators really wanted to work on Pocahontas, but if they didn't think you were cut out for it, they'd make you work on Lion King instead. Yeah, and then Lion King blew up and Pocahontas did pretty okay. So yeah.
Also, I get Pocahontas' main song from the second one stuck in my head more often than I get any of the songs from the first movie stuck in my head.
I still enjoy Color of the Wind.
I mean, I still enjoy the songs,
Because
but where do I go from here gets stuck in my head a lot.
Fair enough.
Because it's just so pretty, and it really gives the singing voice actress a chance to really show off, because it's got a lot of really pretty drawn out notes.
Alright. Next. Alright. So I'm going to do the preface like I do every video where we have to talk about one of these. Back in the 2000s, Disney had the distribution rights for the Studio Ghibli films. And so, the DVD up until 2011 or so, whenever there was a Studio Ghibli film being dubbed and released here in the US, it was through Disney. When it came out on DVD and Blu-ray, it was through Disney DVD. So they are, of course, included in our Disney DVD section. Now it's G-Kids, so those go in the animated section. There, we don't continue to include those, just the ones that were released under the Disney banner. So, this next one is Pom Poko. It is probably one of the weirdest Studio Ghibli films, but it is also kind of one that is kind of, unfortunately, aged the best. I mean, they've all are classic, timeless films, but this one kind of still rings true to this day because it talks about deforestation and a family of, I believe they're supposed to be tanukis. They might just be raccoons. I think they're tanukis. It's been a while since I've watched it. If it's raccoons, my apologies, but I'm going to be calling them tanukis. Anyways, either way, they're little wild animals, and they're trying to survive, from their forest being destroyed. They try to, do a whole Ferngully type of thing and, try to destroy the bulldozers and everything, and unfortunately, they fail. And it does, it doesn't end on a happy note, like some of the Studio Ghibli films do. And yeah, I know the weird thing people like to point out is there's a lot of ball jokes, ball, they have magical ball sacks. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's just something that goes with the tanuki or raccoon lore over there. So I don't really question it. Overall, it's a cute film. I mean, if a kid watches it, they're really just gonna laugh. There's never they never do use them sexual. It's for parachutes and stuff. It's just kind of silly. So yeah, and I remember you kind of seen this one, but not all the way through. I think.
No, we did finish it.
You did. Okay.
Regrettably. I did not like this one.
Okay.
I'm not really into that kind of humor.
Fair enough.
The message it's a good message, but it gets bogged down by all the ball jokes. Like, you're trying to give this important message, you're trying to drive this home for kids, and yes, you do need to have some humor in that, but there's a way to balance kid-appropriate humor that kids are going to find funny, and that message, and that doesn't necessarily include a ball joke every 5 minutes.
I would say it was every 5 minutes.
It was pretty much every 5 minutes.
All right. Next, I'm just gonna let you talk about these films because I have seen them. I have no thoughts on them whatsoever. They're just there existing, but they're one of your favorite films.
So both of these are two of my favorite films. And they're Princess Diaries and Princess Diaries 2. So specifically with the first one, I have a very special connection to that one. My grandpa got sick shortly before Princess Diaries 1 came out. So one of his last trips to us before he started chemo, we went to see this movie in theaters. We didn't know he was already sick. We just thought, Grandpa's falling asleep in the theater. Let's funnily kind of mess with him. He took it well. So we started tossing our ice out of our drinks at him to wake him up. And it kind of started a little bit of a fun tradition with us anytime we went to see a movie when he was sick, because he would drift off and he snored like a freight train. So in order to see the movie without getting kicked out, we would have to gently wake him up, and, you know, a little ice down the collar of the shirt kind of did it every time. So that was kind of a start of a bit of a bittersweet tradition in our family. At least whenever we'd go see a movie with my grandparents. Other than that, outside of that, I love this movie. So I was kind of the weird, clumsy girl my entire school life. So to have an actual Disney, literal live-action Disney princess who was just as weird and clumsy and over-the-top and dramatic as me was fantastic. I thrived off of that. And then her best friend was just as weird as kooky, and she was just without the clumsy, and I was just like, there we go. My bestie's just like that. I'm telling you, I pretty much had this movie memorized. I can still quote it as I'm watching it. It's also like a really good coming-of-age movie. Showing, you know, there's going to be like a lot that you're going through emotionally when you're in those teen years. And also showing that your best friends are not always going to see complete eye to eye with you all the time, but it doesn't mean you stop hanging out, you stop being friends, and you're going to make mistakes choosing who you want to spend your time with during those years, and you just kind of have to pick yourself off and grow from it. And then the second one is just so much fun. The second one is just, it's a joy to watch. It's a good bit of it. Like, Disney was really kind of leaning into their girl power when the second one came out, because we already had Cheetah Girls by that point. We were I think we were about to start getting Hannah Montana. They were like really leaning into their teen girl empowerment era. And the whole plot for Princess Diaries 2 is she has to get married because it was still illegal for a queen to rule on her own without a husband. Even though her grandmother had been ruling for decades since her husband died. So it was kind of a time to get with the times kind of movie. It was fun. I think this was like Chris Pine's first movie. And you can kind of tell because there's some acting choices that he makes where he just gets a little iffy. Like, you could tell he's the newest guy on the block watching this movie. But it doesn't stop it from being fun. Joe is like the best character over the course of both movies, and he is so protective of Mia. It's such a joy to watch. And then to end with the grandmother marrying Joe was so sweet. And again, Lily's just funny. Oh, and Fat Louie. I love Fat Louie.
Princess and the Frog. This was, okay, so Disney really hyped this up. It was like, we're going to get back into 2D animation. We're going to do a Disney princess movie, which we hadn't done since the 90s by that point. So, this movie got a lot of hype behind it. The trailers looked fun. The music that they were releasing sounded great. And then the movie came out and it bombed. And I could kind of see why, because the main characters suck. I'm sorry. They are so, I like the princess or eventual princess's, main goal. If we just had a story about just her and she was just, the whole movie's just her trying to get her restaurant business started, that'd be great. But no, we got to do the whole weird, we're going to transform her into a frog thing. And she and the prince just bicker almost the entire time. And you're like, but they're enemies to friends kind of thing. I'm like, no. Stop that. This is just red flags for both of them everywhere. They're not good for each other. No. The favorite thing out of this is the Dr. Facilier villain and his song. That's the main takeaway from this, is that they got a really good villain out of this really crappy movie. And then they did one other 2D animated movie, and then they're like, wait a second, these aren't doing well. Let's go back to CGI and do that. And Tangled came out, and they're like, okay, we're never going to do 2D animation again, theatricalized. Bye. So I was like, what was the point of all that? And we'll get to Tangled, but Tangled was being produced before this movie came out. So, yeah. But I digress. Kind of sucks that the show got canceled, because it did sound like they were going to do just what I wanted, which is just her in the restaurant, which I think would have been a better plot overall than her in the bayou with the prince as frogs. Also, it's the story, the original story of The Prince of the Frog is a pretty good story. I don't know why they had to do the whole now they're both frogs storyline. This script seems like it was a little rushed, in my opinion. You've got better thoughts on this movie, I know.
Yeah, we're gonna agree to disagree on all points except for kind of on one. I do agree that Tiana and Naveen were not a good match. I don't agree that Tiana's just as bad as Naveen. Tiana is amazing. Naveen is horrible. I can't stand Naveen. I love Tiana. She's fine on
her own. As I said, she's fine on her own, but when they get together, both of them are just like, ugh.
Also, I love Ray. I love that little firefly. He's a sweet little dude. Respect him. Also, it's not just Dr. Facilier that's a great character. We got Charlotte and Big Daddy out of this, and I love them. I absolutely love them, especially the friendship between Lottie and Tiana. Their friendship is so sweet and so pure, and I love them so much. I do think that we should have got more of them together. If we got more of the movie centering around their friendship, it would have been so great. And this is coming from somebody who loves the movie.
The prince probably should have been a background character, like the story, and it should have been more about her and what's her name, Charlotte?
Lottie.
Going into business together with and it being like a two broke girls type of situation there, but Disney animated style, with the in the original story of Princess of the Frog, if you don't know it, is the frog is already transformed. He the princess is a really young or just really naive. Anyways, she drops the ball into a well. The frog is like, hey, I'll get the ball out for you if you help me turn into a prince. She's like, yeah, sure. So he gets the ball out. Prince is like, all right, now you gotta kiss me, I'll turn into a prince. She was like, hold up, I just found out about you and I'm not gonna kiss you right away. How about you come back to my kingdom and we'll have we'll have a date, we'll have dinner together, and then maybe and they do that. He does that 3 times on the third night. After that, she finally does kiss him. Boom, he's a prince, and then they get married. Wouldn't that be such a much more interesting story that they go into to a bayou and have to find a witch? doctor and stuff, and yeah, I'm
Here's the
sorry.
thing, like, I like the direction they were going with Princess and the Frog. I just wish they wouldn't have made Naveen so annoying. If Naveen
so
had a
annoying.
different personality, it would be a perfect movie. I really enjoy where they were going with. I enjoy where they said it. I enjoy how they said
I love
everybody.
the setting. That
The
was a
thing
great
is,
setting.
the Princess and the Frog story, like the actual fairy tale, has been told just like so many times to kids. Like you grow up hearing that story so many times as a kid that it's stale.
But it's Disney
stale.
doing it for the first time.
I don't care if it was Disney doing it for the first time. Disney did the Snow Queen for the first time when we got Frozen. That has pretty much nothing to do with the story. So, no.
That we'll get to that. Well, I mean, we already passed that, but that's a whole. There's documentaries about that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't mind when they take a fairy tale and they change it because you want to change it. You don't want to tell the exact same story a kid has heard 50,000 times by the time the movie comes out.
We're going to agree to disagree on that. Disney wants to do princess movies based off favorite fairy tales. I would, outside of a couple of exceptions, prefer that they do it closer to the actual story.
And I like it when they change it up.
That's fine. Moving on. Princess Mononoke is probably the most violent out of all the Studio Ghibli films, and I'm counting Grave of the Fireflies because, good lord, so much blood, so much, just things falling off body parts and everything, and it's a cool story. It's a good story, nice message. But good lord, if you can't get past all the violence, you are not going to care about this movie. I know some people that are just like fans up and down for Studio Ghibli, except for Princess Mononoke, and I'm like, I totally get it. I just have to own this movie because I have to own all the Studio Ghibli films, and it's a pretty movie, just like all the films are. And I like the little white, weird little creatures that show up in it that shake their little heads. But I know you're kind of in the group that, no.
It's a one and done for me. I appreciate the message. It's a strong movie. I could not watch it again. I was nauseous the whole movie.
Fair enough. And that's what some people say. They just can't. It's a little too violent.
It's too much for me. It's again, the message is very good. It's very well done, like all Studio Ghibli movies are. I would rather sit through the emotional gut punch of Grave of the Fireflies again than have my head in a trash can watching this again, because I'm afraid that's what would happen.
Remember the Titans? I'm not big in sports films. This is a good one, but I mean, I don't get really into sports films in general. Your thoughts?
So I believe this one is my movie.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be because, again, I don't get into sports films outside of, like, a handful of them.
I watched this a lot growing up. Like, basically, if my teachers decided they didn't want to teach that day and they didn't really have a movie pertaining to our subject, we ended up watching Remember the Titans. It's a good movie. Everyone does a really good job. The acting is great. The story is one that it's kind of an amalgamation of stories we're told in our history classes every single year.
Was this based on like I know some sports movies are like based on a real or kind of based on a true story,
I
kind
think
of based on a real team.
this is based on a true story, but it also feels like it pulls elements from other true
things?
stories.
Okay.
Again, you have like little tiny baby Hayden Panettiere in this, and she's a joy to watch in it. Because she plays one of the coach's daughters.
I just know it's Denzel Washington and I don't remember anybody else in the cast.
It's got Denzel Washington. It's got one of the guys from Boy Meets World is in it. The big one. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh yeah,
He's so sweet in this movie. He's such a joy. I love it.
He's sweet in a lot of his
He
films,
really
though.
is. It's got Hayden Panettiere in it. But the majority of the cast growing up for me was like really kind of unknown, which made the movie more enjoyable for me because I'm not sitting there going, I know you from this, I know you from this. And I really enjoy that when it's supposed to be telling either like a true story or like something really relatable. I prefer the cast to be like majority unknown or like majority not super recognizable to me.
Right. Yeah. Return to Oz. I'm gonna say this right now. This is the best adaptation of any the Frank Baum books, the Wizard of Oz series. As much as I enjoy the MGM Judy Garland film, good adaptation of the book it is not. It takes a lot of liberties with the stories. This one, Dorothy is the appropriate age that she is in the books, which is like between like 9 and 11 instead of whatever Judy Garland's age was. Two, it gets the character designs close as they could to the original illustrations of the time. It does mix two stories together. It's not. Return to Oz is based on both Ozma of Oz and I forgot what the third book is called, but it's books 2 and 3 put together. Because we get like Jack Pumpkinhead, who's from book 2, and the Gump, which is in book 2. But then TikTok and Ozma are and Ozma shows up in book 2 as well. But the TikTok and the I believe the Wheelers and the Mountain King Troll guy, those all are from book 3. The only liberty they took was that Judy's aunt and uncle think she's crazy and take her to an insane asylum. That was made up for the film. I don't mind it, honestly. It is kind of weird, like seeing this and then like literally just a couple years later, like the main female is like. I just have to keep remembering Return to Oz and The Craft came out in like the same decade, but there's like maybe like 7 or 8 years in between them, and it's the same girl, which I'm just like, hold up, what? But yeah, but great film overall. This is not a musical. I know this is on a lot of lists of the creepiest Disney movies or the scariest Disney movies or the Disney movies that scarred your childhood. I'm just like, not me. This was great. I loved it. I love the practical effects. I like Brian Henson as Jack Pumpkinhead. I love all the practical effects and puppetry work. I believe it was the Jim Henson workshop that worked on the puppetry there. We get some cool Will Vinton clay animation from like the Troll King and stuff, and we just get a lot of cool characters in it. And honestly, a lot of the Oz books are pretty dark, so this is much more in line than say MGM or just really any of the other adaptions that are supposed to be adaptions of the Wizard of Oz franchise. Yeah, I love it. It's in my top 10 Disney films of all time. I really could go on and on about this film, but what are your thoughts on this film?
I don't like it.
I know.
I don't like it. I go back and forth between being creeped out and bored out of my mind. There's no in between. There's like no moment where I'm just interested. I'm either this is weird or I want to take a nap.
Robin Hood. I like it. All right, so this isn't cuddly cute animals. It's anthropomorphic animals, and akin to like something like Zootopia. So I'm okay with it. I really like the king. I freaking love the king, and the snake guy. I think his name is like Sir Hiss or whatever. Love him. Not for me, but I'm definitely know that Robin Hood, this specific version of Robin Hood, was a big awakening to a lot of people for certain things. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. Disney tries to be inclusive every now and then. And also, I like this movie mainly because one of my favorite songs technically comes from this. It is the Hamster Dance song, which is a sped up version of Odalali, which is the beginning, the opening credits song. So the dee da dee da dee dee do do, speed up dee da dee dee do. It's the same song. So yeah. What are your thoughts?
I love Robin Hood. It was not an awakening for me.
Was not awakening for me. Nope. Nope.
It's just a fun film to watch. I mean, everyone's used to hearing the story of Robin Hood. It was fun to see it being told with animals.
Mm-hmm.
I really love Odalali. Like, I'm not a fan of the hamster dance, but I love Odalali. It's also like a really chill movie too.
It really
So
is.
it's like the perfect movie when you just don't want to expend any energy that day and you just kind of want to have like a popcorn movie and just sit back and relax. It's a good one for that.
The Rocketeer.
This is all you.
Yes, it is. Friggin' love this film.
Completely smooth brain right
This is like it's the same director would eventually direct Captain America: The First Avenger.
You can tell.
So yeah, you could. Oh my God, it's like some shot. It's like blueprint right there, on top of also kind of being like a blueprint for like the first Iron Man film as well, with like how the suit is in this everything. It's just I love it. Very Americana in style. That we got freaking Jennifer Connelly. It has got Jennifer Connelly in it, being the Jennifer Connelly is. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, okay, Labyrinth is like my favorite Jennifer Connelly film, but this is like my favorite film seeing her in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's your favorite film with her in it, but not her favorite performance.
Right, exactly. And then of course we got the suit. Which is just an awesome suit. I'm sorry. How has Disney not made a dang remake or sequel of this? We get this weird Disney Junior show a couple of years ago, which is like his great granddaughter. I didn't watch it. It's a Disney Junior show. I'm just like, no. I want like X-Men 97 levels animation for a sequel here.
You can't say you didn't watch it just because it's Disney Junior. We watched Bluey.
That is different. Bluey speaks to the parental side of it.
Bluey heals us.
Disney, this one just kind of looked like another, we gotta do something with it, otherwise we're gonna lose the copyright. Something, I don't know. But yeah, man, I love this film. Great film. If you like the Captain America films, especially the first one, check this film out. Moving on.
Speaking of Disney Junior.
Yeah, well, this is before it was called Disney Junior. Roly Poly Oly was when it was called Playhouse Disney. And I prefer that name over Disney Junior any day, but I digress. Roly Poly Oly, The Great Defender of Fun, is his first film. He's actually got two films. We don't own the second one because that was when they started introducing the babies, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of annoying. They always try to introduce babies to get another season or so. I think it only lasted one more season after the babies got introduced. I don't know. I stopped watching the show once the babies started getting introduced. It was weird. But going back to Great Defender of Fun, it's just a great 90-minute Roly Poly Oly film. We get Tim Curry, being his Tim Curryus, as the pirate, and it's just a great little movie about this pirate that literally tries to soak the joy, literally soaks the joy out of everything, and so it's up to Roly Poly, his friends, and this space boy that we never see in the show. Nor does he. I don't think he ever shows back up again. And yeah, it's really fun. Love the animation. Just love the style. It's also, of course, based off the art of one of my favorite writers and children's illustrators of all time. I forget his names. I'll pop it up. There he is. And yeah, what were your thoughts?
So honestly, I don't remember much of the plot of this, but I love Roly Poly Oly as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another one of those great to relax to
Oh yeah.
shows and movies. Um,
Have they put this show on Disney Plus?
I don't know.
They should have. They haven't.
But yeah, I grew up on Roly Poly Oly, and I think the reason why I can't specifically remember the plot point of this movie is because we just kind of watched it anytime we had a lull in episodes, so it just kind of feels like it's all part of the show.
And to be fair, Disney would play the movie a lot during times where Playhouse Disney was showing movies. It actually like aired at the same time that it released on DVD/VHS, which is kind of rare. Usually it would show on television first and then make its way on DVD. But it was like it premiered in like it premiered around December or November, because I remember I bought the VHS as a Christmas gift because that's what our parents did. They took us to Walmart, let us pick out whatever, and then we opened it on Christmas Day. So I had already picked out this VHS because it's like, ooh, Roly Poly Oly movie. And then, like literally a couple weeks later, or Disney was like, hey, we're premiering the Roly Poly Oly movie on the channel. And I watched like the first 2 minutes of it until my parents was like, wait a second, you're getting this movie for Christmas. No, you can watch it on Christmas. I was like, oh. So, yeah. Speaking of robots, Ron's Gone Wrong. I don't think this was made in-house. I think this was something. It wasn't Blue Sky, but I think it was something that got acquired when they purchased Fox. Because I remember almost nothing advertisement-wise until after Disney purchased the rights to it or whatever. Great little movie. Good idea of the message with social media kind of stuff going on for little kids, or not little kids, but like
Tweens.
Not even tweens. I think they're like middle school, maybe close, like early middle school age.
Yeah, that's a tween.
That's a tween. Okay, so yeah, of course, Ron is so cute and so silly. I really like his design. It's like simple, but at the same time, when you can see what all it's made to do, I'm just like that makes sense. I bought almost all the Ron's toys when they came out, because they like made this whole like little wind up set, or like pullback action set, of all the characters from the movie. So like I hunted them down and we got a plushie of him as well. He's a great cute little guy. And I just, yeah, it's a great. I'm considering it already like an underrated film because it kind of came and went without much
Noise.
And yeah, your thoughts?
So the plushie is actually mine. You got all the little toys. I got the plushie.
Yes.
I love this movie. He's so cute. He's so sweet. I love everything about this. I do like the message of, social media can be good, it can be fun, but you have to do it in moderation. You have to monitor what's going on. You can't just spend all of your time with your face in your phone. You have to actually interact with people, and I like how they showcase that, especially at the end of the movie where the kids are more open to actually interacting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the way that they kind of showcase peer pressure.
Right.
It's like a good... It's a good movie to show your kid before they, like, start middle school or...
Or, like, when they're just starting to, like, get a phone that they're allowed to download apps onto. And...
Like, it'll help...
You're not going to be able to, like, check on them 24/7.
It'll help facilitate that conversation.
Yeah.
Of there's good use and there's bad use. You have to find balance.
Yeah. Saving Mr. Banks was the first Disney movie that made me cry. Not even kidding. Was watching the film halfway through, tears. I'm like, what is this? Because films. I mean, I'm a pretty soft person, but it takes a lot to make me like even like swell up tear wise. And like Saving Mr. Banks was the first film to do that for me. So kudos. However, this is a very Disney-fied retelling of the production of Mary Poppins. It does take a good bit from the book of the same name, that was about P.L. Travers having to deal with Disney during this time and what she wanted the film to be and what it eventually ended up turning out to be. Disney-fied it a little bit there. Tom Hanks as Disney, though, is like perfect casting, and I'm surprised they haven't done more with that. I don't know, just like you've got Tom Hanks, who's the right age to look like Walt Disney at the end of his lifetime. I would think y'all want to do a couple of those type of films, even if it's like for Disney Plus or something, just like, just biopic kind of things of some of the big films that he was like helping to produce around this time. Because I'm like, yeah, cool, Mary Poppins is a cool little story, but there's so many other ones during this time. I mean, you could even do one about Disney World and him. He didn't get to live to see that get open, but he did live to like talk about Epcot and stuff. So I'm like, come on, that'd be such a great film. And again, just freaking Tom Hanks. What were your thoughts?
So I do really enjoy this movie. Whereas this was the first one to make you cry, this was like the millionth one to make me cry. I'm a big softie. I'm a crybaby when it comes to movies, and I own it. This one, it did make me cry. It made me choke up. All the acting is great in this. I think for me, though, my favorite performance, because it's just so understated and so relaxed, is Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, as the chauffeur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's such just like a normal person.
And
this like all these big personalities, he's so normal, which is what makes it like just really effective.
Also got to say the same thing for, I don't remember the actor's name, but it's the actor that was like a kind of a bad guy in The Office, playing one of the Sherman brothers.
Yes, B.J. Novak.
B.J. Novak, thank you.
He did such a good job, because he plays one of the Sherman brothers.
He does, yep. Mm-hmm. I believe he plays the one that has to walk with a cane because he got injured during, I want to say, a war. I don't remember the full history of that. But it was just really cool seeing him play, against character.
Yeah, like, I love when you get to see an actor stretch like that.
Yeah.
Because when he first popped up, I was like, all right, stuff's about to pop off. And then he's just chill.
Mm-hmm.
And it just works so well. His and his same partner's portrayal of the Sherman Brothers are so good.
Right.
Especially when they start showing them working on the actual songs. Because I love the soundtrack for Mary Poppins. And to be able to see, like, them portraying how all that got done was just a treat for me.
And I know this was more of the production side of it, and Disney and P.L. Travers kind of going at it. I personally would have liked to have seen some of the film go into some of the actual filming of the film, and we get, I don't know, somebody to portray Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews just for a scene or something. I don't know. It jumps from, her signing to them on the red carpet of the premiere, and I'm just like, whoa. There was so much. I mean, yeah, I know this was, you couldn't do like a 3-hour film, but I really wish it was, because there was so much more to this production there.
I feel like if this had been a mini series instead of a movie, they would have done that.
Right.
And then with the mini series, you could have had the same cast, and it would have been just as good.
Exactly. Secret of the Magic Gourd is a Chinese film. I'm questioning that because I don't remember. Right off the top of my head, I'm not sitting in front of the DVDs. But it is English dubbed. Corbin Bleu voices the Magic Gourd. It's about this kid that, is kind of coming of age to elementary school kid film, where he meets this Magic Gourd. It's kind of like a genie kind of thing where he just kind of grants wishes, and but also it's kind of like a monkey's paw kind of thing where it doesn't always grant them right away or the right way. So, hijinks ensue. It's a little kids film. I mean, it's cute. I really just liked it because it was like the gourd's design is just kind of a cool, unique design, and the story itself was kind of cool. This was kind of when I was like going into my like weird creatures in Asian films dubbed movies phase. So it's like this and CJ7 and a couple, or CJ9 or whatever it was called, and a couple other films came out. I was just like, yes, I love all this kind of stuff. And this was one of the few that Disney released over here. So yeah, I know you've never seen this film. So
No, you've shown it to
have
me.
I shown it to you? Okay.
I didn't like it.
All right. I'm gonna let you go over to the next two because I don't have any thoughts on them. But you grew up with, I guess, the VHS versions of these.
Yeah. So the next two are two of the live action sing along songs. These are DVDs. I had them on VHS growing up. I thought we had 3 of them, but we only have 2. So it's The Beach Party and Flick's Musical Adventure. So the Beach Party takes place at Blizzard Beach at Disney World, I believe. And it's just like a whole bunch of kids singing like pop songs and Disney songs throughout the park, and they're having fun. And it's just, there's no like real narrative in it. It's just fun. It opens with them all still at home and they're doing Celebration, and then like halfway through the song they're on the beach, and then you just have a whole bunch of little songs. There is a moment where they sing Pearly Shells, which ended up getting me really emotional when we went to Disney World, because when we're sitting in Ohana they were playing an instrumental of Pearly Shells, and it took me right back to being like 5 or 6 years old and grabbing a little like baby bed sheet and turning it into a skirt and dancing around my grandparents' living room because I wore those VHSs out. Flick's Musical Adventure is what they put out around the time that Animal Kingdom was opening up. I think they actually put it out technically before Animal Kingdom opened up to advertise the park, and it got me excited to go to Animal Kingdom. And then I got to Disney World, and we got there a week before it was supposed to open. So I was a little upset there. But it's another one that's a lot of fun. You're just going around. It's kids going around exploring the park and learning about animals, and they're singing songs as they go. And it's just a lot of fun.
So you know how we were saying that Robin Hood didn't awaken anything in me? Sky High awakened so much in me.
Me too!
I'm just like, dang, I like a girl in uniform, apparently. And, good or bad. Because, damn. Yeah, so we should probably talk about the plot. This is a really good idea, and I'm surprised Disney hasn't done much else with it. All right, so it's in a world where, where superheroes are like literally a thing. Like it's like this is before the MCU and the DCU were anything. This is way before that, and it's just like, yeah, people know about heroes, and it's like whatever type of thing is going on, you get heroes. And one of them is the main story that we follow is this kid whose parents are like the Superman and Superwoman of this world, and in their regular time they're real estate agents, but their actual job is going and saving them. Well, he's a teenager and he has not gotten his superpower yet, and it is that time for all the teens. I guess they don't go to Sky High until they're either at high school age.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they go there and they're set into 2 groups. You are the heroes, but these are the kids that actually have some sort of human power, like speed or strength or something that would help fight crime. And then you got the ones that like technically they do have a superpower, but it's like a really lame superpower, or one that people don't think is going to be that cool or that useful, and they get put into the sidekick. And unfortunately, he doesn't have anything for the time being. So he gets put into the psychic room with all the other kids, like the girl that can make plants grow and the guy that can glow. And you got Tony Shalhoub in this, and we got Kurt Russell and Kelly Preston in here. One of the cool little cameos is Linda Carter, who was the original Wonder Woman. But then you also have, what is his name? I'm looking for the fire dude.
Oh, Stephen Strait.
Yeah,
Freaking love Stephen. That was my awakening with Stephen Strait.
And we got, other people that show up in here as well. Just pretty much anybody that was ever like in a superhero movie or show cameoed in this. And so, it's coming of age type of story. Eventually the main character, of course, gets superpowers. He gets
both his parents' powers.
His parents' powers, which we all saw coming. If you didn't, come on. It's one of those kind of things where he's like, what's going to happen? It would have been cool if he just stayed not having his powers, or like had, just like another little smaller power, and it'd be a whole thing about...
Before Disney started doing stuff like that, where they really just wanted to stick to the norm.
I find it really funny because, of course, as I said, this is before MCU and DCU, so, people that grew up with comic books, they knew this movie is considered a origin story type of film. Well, the theater people did not know that term yet, so the review on the front of the DVD says, it's a clever hybrid of Harry Potter and the Incredibles. I'm just like, yeah, that's called an origin story. But y'all would, I was quoting Back to the Future, y'all probably won't get it, but your kids will really like it. But yeah, so great film. Let you talk about this some.
So I watched this movie way too much growing up.
Same here. Way too much.
So I know we talked about my awakening with Stephen Strait. Which one was yours?
Really, every woman in this, like, damn. Even the villain. I was like,
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
yeah. Man. Kid me, this is like, came out in 2005, so I was in middle school still. I was like, they're pretty. And then, they're pretty. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, for me, all within like a few years of each other, we got Sky High, Covenant, I think. Mm-hmm. And then Undiscovered. And Undiscovered, nobody really talks about that one, but it's fun. I enjoy it. But all three have Stephen Strait in them. So I got really into Stephen Strait all throughout like my early teen years. This is just like a really, really fun... It's so cute and it's so fun, and like it really is, on top of it being just like your usual Disney story, how they like to tell their stories, it also is kind of like the little dog coming up and like beating all the big dogs, because it's the sidekicks that save the day.
Yeah, it's the underdog.
Yeah,
you were trying
I said
to say
little dogs.
Underdog story. Little dogs. I was so confused. It's an underdog story.
I know.
Superhero underdog story.
So that was what was fun about it.
Which we haven't really gotten yet until, next month? Well, by the time this comes out, will Thunderbolts be out? I don't think we've ever... Come on.
This is still coming out in March.
Come on, Marvel. Do an underdogs story where we do do a sidekick movie.
But yeah, this is it's really cute. It's really fun. I like how they show both sides for War and Peace in this. Mm-hmm. Like, they assume he's going to be the villain the whole way through and you're just like, no, he's a softie. And he really is. Like, he's super sweet. I really, really wish that Danielle Panabaker's character would have gone for him instead of our main character. because they would have worked well together. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. It awakened some things for me. Pretty sure it did also for my brothers because they never fought me on watching it. It was a family friendly favorite for a long time.
And then Sleeping Beauty is my favorite classic Disney princess movie. Not so much for Aurora. She's kind of a wet blanket when it comes to personality and just in general. I mean, she just, for the most part, she's not in the movie. But everything else is great. I mean, Maleficent is like one of the best Disney villains ever. So much so that she's the main villain in Kingdom Hearts. On top of using her for so much stuff. This is the first movie that we get the Disney horse.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't know what the Disney horse means, it is a trope that Disney uses where they have a animated horse that has an attitude.
Super sassy.
Yeah, super sassy. You see it in this, but then you also see it in Untangled.
You got it Untangled. A tiny bit in Mulan. Like, her horse has a little bit of an attitude. But you also get it in Toy Story 2.
Yes, bullseye. And I'm sure. And then kind of to a lesser extent, Sven from Frozen.
Yeah, he's as close to a horse as they got.
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course the art by this is all inspired by the unicorn tapestries, which is just a very, if you haven't looked them up, look them up. They're just a beautiful literal tapestries showcasing like the hunting of unicorns. It's really, really pretty arts. And Mary Blair, who like helped out with Disney on so many art projects. She is the main, like the lead art designer on some of the Disney rides, including It's a Small World After All. And you can really tell it in this film. She helped out with like, she didn't help out animating, but she helped out with like the color coordination for these films, and that's this movie really pops color wise, and especially the backgrounds for this, and we got some great songs out of this. This is actually probably one of the Disney princess movies that has like the least amount of songs in it, actually, which is fine. Don't really mind it. Got that cool sword dragon battle at the end. That's always really cool to watch. And it's also one of the first times we have the kings with some personality in them as well. Two of them. And the prince has some personalities. Pretty much everybody has personality except Aurora.
This was our first time the prince had personality.
Yep. And so, just outside of the classic Disney princess movies, which goes up to... I think before Ariel, anything before Ariel.
So just the three.
Just the three. Just the first three. Out of the three, this is my favorite. Your thoughts?
Well, out of the three, this is also my favorite. I love the Good Fairies. Especially Merryweather.
Oh, yeah.
I love Merryweather so much. Again, because I was that kind of sassy as a kid. That kind of mouthy, that kind of sassy. I think that's part of where I learned it, because I watched this movie a lot growing up. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is also my favorite singing voice for Disney Princess.
Yeah,
she's got such a gorgeous voice. Could never emulate it. Nope. That's like a true soprano. It's so pretty. This also, Once Upon a Dream was our first dance at our wedding.
It is the song we danced to at our wedding as the first dance of the couple.
So it's also sentimental for us for that.
Exactly.
For that reason. It is one of my favorite Disney movies visually. My specific favorite frame is it's like during the Once Upon a Dream song, where it's at the instrumental, and it's showing just kind of in shadow, Aurora and Philip walking through the forest.
Yeah.
So gorgeous. And there's one moment where they're kind of in the middle. It's drawn back enough to where you're just seeing their outlines and you get the forest around them. And it's so pretty. I absolutely love it.
And then speaking of the three, I mean, what Disney movie collection would be complete without the first Disney animated feature film, which is Snow White? And honestly, I like this movie. The songs still get stuck in my head to this day, with this movie being almost 80 years old now. Yeah, you can say whatever you want about Snow White. It's fine. I don't mind her as a character, honestly. She does more than Aurora did in her movie. The dwarfs are adorable. Of course, you've got. I don't think she ever gets a name.
She's just the evil queen.
I mean, yeah. Of course, we get the famous misquoted line, which is a magic mirror on the wall, not mirror, mirror. It's magic mirror on the wall. And yeah, just really, this was like when Disney decided we're going to do a feature film animated movie, it's going to be in color. Man, they knocked it out of the park. And then some, because man, this movie still gets callbacks and remakes of this specific version, including Disney themselves, and just parodies. I mean, without this, we eventually wouldn't get stuff like Shrek. So, yeah, and I mean, it's just a really pretty movie, just in general. It holds up very well, animation-wise. Your thoughts?
It is really pretty. It did, unfortunately, give me bad expectations as a little kid, because I thought if you just sang pretty at the animals, they would come to your chores for you.
I mean, a cat would probably look at you weird, but that's probably the closest that you'll get to that.
But yeah, this is really it's a really good movie. It's not like fun per se, but it's really pretty to watch. And the songs do kind of get stuck in your head. Like specifically Hi Ho gets stuck in my head a lot.
Right? But also Whistle While You Work gets stuck in my head. And the one song that gets cut out, that they included in like the special editions, which is that Soup song. I actually pretty like. I get it. The reason why they cut it, because yeah, it does kind of bring the movie to a grinding halt. But I'd still enjoy the Soup song. And is this the one where what's Snow White's song?
I'm Wishing.
Still a classic Disney princess song. Has been covered by so many singers. Not as much as some of the other ones that we would eventually get, but still up there.
Yeah, like I've noticed I'm Wishing is probably the least covered of the I Want songs, but it's still a good one.
This is the introduction to the I Want song for Disney, and the I Want song is the...
I Want songs have been a thing in theater since...
But like for Disney, this is the blueprint for pretty much every Disney princess. Even the new ones, like, yeah, they've changed with the times, or at least tried to change with the times.
But you still get that I Want song.
You still get the I Want song. You still get the animal side character, or side characters, depending on the movie. For the most part, you still get the prince in some shape, way, or form, outside of one of them. And, yeah, and you also get there is some sort of magic involved in it. So, whether it is a fairy-like character or a deity-like character or just something that has a wand, it's going to be in it. And that is the end of this video. As I said, we got one more video. It's probably my most look forward to video, because it's the one that includes some of my favorite Disney movies of all time, and same with Shelby.
It's got two of my absolute
favorite films of all time. We'll see you at the end of next month when we talk about those. And again, if you like hearing us talk about movies, this is part 4. We've got 3 other ones that we did of these Disney movies. And we've got more to come. And if there's a movie that we passed over alphabetically during this list, it means most likely we probably have it either on VHS, and we'll get to it when we talk about our VHSs, or we just haven't gotten around to buying it yet, or we just might not like the movie. So comment down below if you've got thoughts on a movie or asked why we skipped over any sort of movie. And until next time, thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.